Okay, for number 5, we are told Emily mixed together 9 gallons of brand A fruit drink and 8 gallons of brand B fruit drink, which contains 48% fruit juice. So brand B contains 48% fruit juice. Find the percent of fruit juice in brand A if the mixture contained 30% fruit juice. Let's break this down. 9 gallons of brand A, and we're not told what the percentage of fruit juice is. So that's the unknown quantity, the percentage of fruit juice in brand A. Combined with 8 gallons of brand B, whose fruit juice concentration is 48%. So that one's given. Find the percent of fruit juice in brand A if the total mixture, 9 gallons of brand A and 8 gallons of brand B, contains 30% fruit juice. This really requires us to look at the problem mathematically. So let me transfer that information to our workspace. So this is number 5. And we'll set it up as best we can, like the other problems. We have 9 gallons of brand A, and I'm going to put that as a subscript. This is how you should be writing it. 9 gallons brand A and the concentration of fruit juice, so we'll say times, and we really don't know, unknown percentage. All right, that's what we don't know. We're not told what the percent of fruit juice is, so we call this percentage fruit juice. Equals. We don't know. Let's keep going. We're also told that we have 8 gallons of brand B, and we are told that this one contains 48% fruit juice. So it wants us to figure this out. So let's work through the problem. What are the total gallons of liquid in the combined mixture, the combined solution? Well, this one we know. We just add 9 and 8 to give us 17 gallons. You know, and we can call this brand C. Okay? And up here, when we don't know a number, sometimes it's useful to put in a variable. So in this example, you know, in math problems, we could use X or Y or Z or W or whatever. But to make this a little bit more immediate, let's call this variable. Let's assign a variable to our unknown quantity, and we'll call this variable we will name this variable Fj sub A. Okay? Fj sub A for the percent of fruit juice in brand A. Okay? Maybe I should put fruit juice brand A, fruit juice brand B. Okay? Let's think about what that would look like. So that would actually equal 9 times FJA, because this is the percent, it's a placeholder. So we'll say 9 multiplied by FJA. I don't know what the multiplication comes out to because I don't know what FJA is. I'm going to solve for it here in a minute. But I can go ahead and do this one. 8 times 48% is equal to 8 times 0.48. Right? And we'll see what these things equal. Well, up on top, 9 times Fj sub A equals 9 Fj sub A. That's all it equals. It doesn't come out to any number yet. It's important to remember that this whole thing is a single variable. Right? Now, 8 times 0.48 is something we can solve. So 8 times 0.48 equals 3.84. So what that means is 3.84 gallons of fruit juice in brand B. Okay? And so we really are having to keep our thinking caps firmly planted on our heads, because now we kind of have to proceed as though we could add these things up. What is 9 FJA plus 3.84? Well, you have to start thinking like this. It really is 9 FJA plus 3.84. Okay. Now just imagine if this had come out to a real number, like a number that was just like the other problems we've already done. The way we would find out what the concentration of the mixture of the two items was is by taking this number, dividing it by the total, and multiplying by 100. Okay? So let's say that the percent fruit juice of brand C, the combined brand, is equal to 9 FJA plus 3.84 divided by 17. Right now we have two variables. We have percent fruit juice brand C and fruit juice brand A. Can't have two variables in the problem, so let's look and see if we're given any other information. In fact, we're asked, find the percent of fruit juice in brand A if the mixture contained 30% fruit juice. So we actually are given the percent fruit juice in brand C. So I'll substitute in for this whole variable here 30%. 30% equals 9 FJA plus 3.84 divided by 17. Well, now this is just an issue of solving for the variable FJA. So we'll just proceed to solve for this variable. It's helpful now to go ahead and convert this percent to a decimal on the left-hand side of the equal sign. What would be my first step in isolating this variable? Well, I have this whole thing here divided by 17. So in order to get rid of the 17, I multiply the top by 17, or you multiply by the reciprocal. So I'm really multiplying 1 over 17 times 17 over 1, and that cancels out these 17s. But I have to do that on the left side as well. So I'm going to end up multiplying 0.3 times 17. Okay, this is where we start to get into the meat of the problem. 17 times 0.3 gives me 5.1. Okay, so I have 5.1 equals 9 FJ sub A plus 3.84. So my next step in getting FJ sub A all by itself is to subtract 3.84 from both sides of the equation. Might be useful to put a 1 there. So now we're going to perform this subtraction. Now I'll do it by hand and using the calculator. It's useful to remember the skill of subtraction. So I can't take anything from 0, so I go to the next one, and nope, I can't, because the 1's not enough to take from, so I go to the 5, and I call this 4. Okay, and this becomes 10, and this becomes 10. Okay, so now I'll take 10 minus 4 is 6, 10 minus 8 is 2, and 4 minus 3 is 1. And that's how you perform subtraction by hand. 5.10 minus 3.84 equals 1.26. If this hand-based subtraction is unfamiliar to you, it's something you should, it's a skill you should learn. That's all I'm going to say. So now we have 1.26 equals 9 FJ sub A. I'm still trying to isolate FJ sub A. So since I have 9 multiplied by it, let me divide both sides by 9. That cancels it out on the right, and then I'll divide the left by 9 as well. So I'll use the calculator to facilitate this one. 1.26 divided by 9 gives 0.14. So now I've isolated fj sub a as 0.14 equals fj sub a. If I want to express 0.14 as a percent, then I just move the decimal over 2 places and I come up with 14%. Let's double check that we understand what we found here. This is the percent of fruit juice in brand A. Now, how would I check to make sure I was right? Well, so we found that this is the concentration of fruit juice in brand A is 14%. Let's make sure that we are, in fact, right. The way we do it is over here in our problem that we set up. Let's just substitute in here for fj sub a. Let's substitute in 0.14 and see if we end up getting 0.3 on the left, because remember we were actually given that value. So I want to pull from my solution 0.14, substitute that in for the concentration of fruit juice as a percent, and see if I don't get this correct. So let's just say, what's 9 times 0.14? That equals 1.26. So let's just, to double check, and we'll even write this, check. We have 1.26 plus 3.84 divided by 17, and what this should equal is 0.3. So what we want to know is, does 1.26 plus 3.84 divided by 17 equal 0.3? If it does, then we found the right value. 1.26 plus 3.84, enter, divided by 17, enter, equals 0.3. So when I check the problem and find out that it's correct, put 2 checks by it and go down here to my solution and put 2 checks by it. Now I'm certain that I'm right. Okay? And that is how you do number 5.